In the Western world we live in today, we oftentimes get carried away with all of life's distractions, causing most of us to walk through life without a clear goal to our existence. It is a story of many young men who had no real guiding father figure in their lives. The result of this, and the comfort we all have in this society, left many of our untouched potential to go to waste, even when we have all the opportunity in the world. Now let's place ourselves across the other side of the world, where there have been lots of pain and loss. But let us ask ourselves what kind of a person this environment would produce. For many, the tragedies in life itself causes them to lose hope in humanity altogether. It is a sight we can all recognize in people. But what if you weren't crushed by all of this, and chose to uplift yourself and others among you to strive to be the best at what you do, and to be the best you can be? You see, what we do in life has a ripple effect amongst our people, our families, friend groups, our communities are all impacted with what we do. Therefore, wouldn't it be obvious to pursue something that is meaningful in life? That is a philosophy I am sure Abdulmanap shared. Because of this outlook on life, we had a man who stuck to his beliefs and carried himself with dignity. We may look at Khabib as a world-beating champion, but in the eyes of his father, he always remained his little boy. Now, Abdulmanap's love for Khabib would definitely be no less than what it was if Khabib was not a successful athlete in his life. I am sure of it. But the reality still remains that he is not only a coach, but also a father. A father is responsible for his children. Whatever actions they may take, the father will be held accountable. So it was a double job he had to take in raising Khabib. But the most important job still remained fatherhood. A heavy focus on discipline, kindness, and respect resulted in Khabib turning out to be a great man of his own, regardless of his sporting accolades. And so when Khabib jumped the fence at UFC 229 and caused a brawl to occur, his father had this to say: "I will be very hard on this. I warned him, for me, discipline comes first. You do whatever you want in the octagon, but outside is the border of civilians, where there are children, women, and strangers. Out of the octagon should be a peaceful existence." Now, having a father figure in your life present who will keep you in check for your actions is a great presence we can take for granted.
My father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. Thank you for waiting for me here. I know my father gonna smash me when I go home, because I know he's gonna smash me.
Let us take Mike Tyson as an example. Mike's biological father died when he was only 2 years old, but the man Tyson had known as his father was Jimmy Kirkpatrick. Tyson said, "My father was a regular street guy, caught up in the street world." Mike was already living in a crime-filled ghetto, and having no guiding father in his life resulted in a rough early childhood. Tyson's mother passed away when he was only 16 years old. Mike said, "I never saw my mother happy with me or proud of me for doing something. She only knew me as being a wild kid running the streets, coming home with new clothes that she knew I didn't pay for. I never got a chance to talk to her or know about her. Professionally, it has no effect, but it is crushing emotionally and personally." Mike, having no caring parents in his life, was left on the cold streets of Brooklyn, where people who committed crimes were looked at with respect. It was exactly that respect and adoration Mike wanted so desperately in his life. And luckily for Mike Tyson, a man of experience, honor, and care would take him under his wing. Custom motto. He molded Mike Tyson in a confident person, continually giving Mike Tyson positive reinforcements he never had before in his life.
You just met me. I'm a little kid. He said, "You're gonna be the world champ." How could I ever do an interview about him? I start crying. How did this guy know? How did he? I didn't know I was the one.
And with all the love and attention he gained from his foster parents, Mike became a new young boy with a real future ahead of him. and as a result, we got to see the rise of one of the best heavyweights in history. But on one fateful day, Mike's trainer and father figure would pass away of old age, and from here, Mike's life became a living nightmare. With no one real around him anymore who truly loved him for who he is and cared for him, Mike was left with many snakes around him who only were out for their own pockets. But without cuss, Tyson looked everywhere to get the same adoration and love out of different places. Losing himself to the fast life, Mike became a total train wreck. And with this, we have two polar opposite stories with Mike Tyson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. But let's just imagine how different Khabib's life would be if his father Abdulmanap was not supportive and continuously berated Khabib, or was just not there altogether. Would we have gotten the fine man and athlete we have today? The answer to that is most likely a no. And so we are left with doing what is meaningful. For Abdulmanap, he pursued that which was meaningful for him, which was being a good father and a coach to other young kids. As a result, he created a martial arts heaven from nothing, and the kids that he raised turned out to be great fine young men of their own. The kids in Dagestan used to train in the parks and had no real facilities compared to what you may find in other countries, but now it is home to many world champions and hosts a high-end MMA gym of its own. He enriched his community with prosperous people from a place many people could not rise out of from. So, let this be a lesson we can all learn from. Be the role model you wished you had. Be kind, gentle, and understanding towards others. And also, be able to forgive others for their mistakes, as in the end, we are all just only human.
Ну и сегодня я в прямом эфире пригласил и Конора.
Да.
Да, я сделал такое заявление, пригласил Конора в гости. И почему бы, значит, ему не посетить Дагестан?
Вы на самом деле его простили?
Да.
Вот, абсолютно.
Вот понимаете, вот...
За те оскорбления? Вот.
Нет, это все в прошлом. Нельзя останавливаться, жизнь продолжается. И наша религия должна показать милосердие не на словах, а на деле. Если он приедет, вы увидите то же самое. Примем его как дорогого гостя.
Thank you, Abdulmanap, for being a great man. Your song may have ended, but the melody of your life still lingers on.
My father, not only my coach, this guy, my father, you know. Can you talk about you guys can understand how I love my father. Let's talk about my father. I like this. Who have question about my father? When I go to the cage with my father, I feel I go to the cage with the lion, you know.